What's good, everybody? I appreciate you checking in. All right, let's break down our week 4 matchup against the Cleveland Browns. It's here at Allegiant Stadium, our back-to-back home games, and this home game is the one that we need to show up. We got embarrassed last week against the Carolina Panthers. We need to show up and show out. This is a redemption game. We have to make sure that we can get this thing back on track. And we have a lot of things to prove. But unfortunately, yesterday we got some rough news about some leaders on this team. They're not going to be playing. Max Crosby, Devontae Adams, they are ruled out for this game. And we have a long list of injuries. So we'll get into it and we'll break this thing down. But before I do get into it, I am going to announce at the end of this video the winners of my giveaway. I surprised you guys with a giveaway. Now, my next giveaway, I'm doing another one at 4,000 subscribers. I'm less than 300 subscribers away from that 4,000. But I told you guys I would announce a winner of this giveaway in this video, and I'm going to do it at the end of this video. And in addition to that, I have another surprise for you guys because, again, this is my way of just saying thank you, just showing my appreciation. I told you guys that I would announce one giveaway winner, but I'm actually going to announce two winners to this giveaway. I mean, it's, again, just my way of saying thank you. So at the end of this video, I will announce the two winners of this giveaway, but I will do another giveaway when I hit 4,000 subscribers. Just keep that in mind. So hit that notification bell so you know when all my giveaways go down, and you can be included if you hit that subscribe button. So let's dive into this. All right. The first thing I want to touch on is the injuries. All right. Yesterday and on Friday, Antonio Pierce, he confirmed to the media that Max Crosby, Devontae Adams, they are not going to play tomorrow. Thayer Mumford is not going to play. He confirmed Divine Diablo is not going to play. I mean, we have a ton of injuries. Marcus Epps got hurt last game. He's no longer on the active roster. We have moved him to the IR. And so there's a lot of players that need to step up this week. And there's one thing I want to address. The moment that everybody heard that Max Crosby and Devontae Adams were going to be out for this game, a lot of people panicked. A lot of people basically went on social media and said they're throwing the towel. This game's over. We're going to lose this one. They've already basically called it that we're going to lose this game. And you know what? This is the game that we realize what this team is really about, what type of leadership Antonio Pierce actually has. Because yes, we have guys hurt. Yes, it's going to be next man up mentality. But this is what you love about sports. This is what you love about competing, is that when someone goes down, someone else needs to step up. And these players on this team, whether it's these edge rushers, Janarius Robinson, Charles Snowden, is it going to be Jacoby Myers? Is it going to be Brock Bowers, Trey Tucker, DJ Turner? These guys need to step up. We have some rookies, whether it's DJ Glaze stepping in for Thayer Mumford. These guys need to step up, and Antonio Pierce needs to be the leader that we all know he can be, and lead these guys and motivate these guys to step up their game, fill in for the starters, make sure that they come out and ball. Because the one thing we need to understand is that the Browns, if this could have happened any week, where Max Crosby has to get through an injury, Devontae Adams has to sit a game out, if it was 1 week, we're lucky that it's this week because the Browns are probably just as banged up as we are. They have injuries across the line. They have injuries on the defense. Their offensive line is absolutely banged up. We can still win this game. But the thing is you have to want it. And this is the best part. This is the best part about sports, especially the game of football, is that you can come out, and if you have that mindset to come and smack somebody in the mouth, if you want to prove yourself, Tyree Wilson, prove yourself. Charles Snowden, prove yourself. DJ Glaze, prove yourself that you belong on this squad, that you belong on an NFL roster, and you can contribute when your name is called. That's what's the greatest thing about not just sports, but the game of football, is that when you get that opportunity, you better take advantage of it. And one of the things that you can do is go and smack somebody in the mouth and prove that you can be that next man up. And so this is what I want to see. I want to see, how does this team step up to the moment? These are those defining moments in a season that if you can go in with everything against you, right? Your back's against the wall, you're coming off an embarrassing loss. You have your leaders, your studs on this team out, and you can come in and pull out a win. These are those defining moments, those moments in a season that can turn something around. And this season is still early. It's only week 4. We have plenty of time to turn this thing around and make sure that we can turn this into a successful season. All right. But these are the defining moments. So take advantage of these moments. This is what I want to see. Just because we have injuries, every team goes through injuries. Every team goes through injuries. It's how you battle it, it's how you come through it. And this is what is so great about this game of football and just sports in general is that you have moments that you can define yourself, and this is a moment. So this is what I want to see at this Raiders team. All these players that have to step in for some of the starters that are going through some injuries. Antonio Pierce, lead these guys, lead these men into this game, and have them step up. Have them step up to the moment and capitalize on the opportunity that you have this weekend. And let's make sure we get a dub on Sunday. And so let's kind of jump into it. Again, I want to kind of break down the offense and defensive side. So let's touch on the defense first. And obviously, Marcus Epps, he went down last week. He's on the IR, so we're not going to see him. Isaiah Palamau, it's time. It's your time. It's your time. Take this opportunity to show that you deserve to be on this squad, and you have a 1-year contract. This is a prove it moment. Prove that you can be that next starting safety for our Las Vegas Raiders. And so step up into this moment. Then you got Divine Diablo. He's out. So Luke Masterson, Tommy Eichenberg, you guys got to show you can contribute. Don't be the weakest link on this defense. Contribute to this unit and show that you can be that second linebacker sitting next to Robert Spillane. And then we got Max Crosby. Well, before we get to Max Crosby, we got DC Richardson. Obviously, he hasn't played all season long, so we elevated Sam Webb from the practice squad, so he's going to step in. But then we got Max Crosby. All right, Max Crosby. It's going to be the first game he has ever missed as a Raider, and so this is where Tyree Wilson, Janarius Robinson, Charles Snowden, even in Kaylavon Chasen, even though we just brought you up, I believe it was last week that we brought you onto this 53-man roster. Here's your moment. Here's your time. You need to get after this quarterback. All right. The Cleveland Browns, they're absolutely banged up on this offensive line. I think both their offensive tackles are out and their backups were limited all week in practice. Tyree Wilson, if you're ever going to have a moment to prove that you potentially can live up to that number 7 overall pick, this is your moment. All right, so Tyree Wilson, I want to see you get after that quarterback. I need you to be a force. Step up. All right, Charles Snowden, you're an undrafted free agent. We elevated you a week 1. Show that you deserve to stay on this roster. You were an undrafted free agent signed to the practice squad. This is your moment. All right, and Kaylavon Chasen, a former first-round draft pick. Once again, you're going to be in that rotation. Show that you can step up to the plate. Janarius Robinson, continue to build off of what we saw last year and what we're starting to see this year as you get those opportunities. This is the perfect time for you guys to show up and disrupt the hell out of this Browns offense. All right, so let's see it. This is what I want to see. I want to see these edge rushers get after it. Now, one thing we have to keep in mind is the Giants last week, they sacked Deshaun Watson 8 times. I think Deshaun Watson is the most sacked quarterback in the league with, I think, 16 as it stands right now. I mean, there is no excuse, even with Max Crosby out, Malcolm Kuntz has been out all season so far. There is no excuse why we don't get in Deshaun Watson's face almost every single time. I want to see as a unit, I want to see us sack him at least 3 times, and we got to get to him early. Get to him early, make him uncomfortable. All right. And Christian Wilkins, we signed you to a massive contract. We brought you in to be a disruptor up the middle. We got to see it this week. Got to see it on Sunday. Let's make it happen. And now, one of the things that I want to see out of our defensive line, I keep saying pass rush, get after it. You have to be relentless, right? Deshaun Watson, he understands that his offensive line is very weak, and so he's going to be scrambling. I watched some of his game last week against the Giants. He will get off his spot early. He will want to move around. He's going to try to make things happen with his legs. So this front four, this pass rush, you guys have to be relentless. Do not let up. When you think he's about to release the ball, continue to get after him. Do not let up, right? Because he's going to try to make plays with his legs. He's going to try to bail out early because, again, he knows his offensive line is struggling. And so do not let your motor fall off. You got to keep going. And the number one thing I want to see out of this defense is we have to be physical right out the gate. We let Carolina rush the ball all over us. We made Chuba Hubbard look like an all-pro running back. We let Deontay Johnson run free all over the place. It didn't matter whether or not he wanted to run a slant, he wanted to get into the seam, if he wanted to cross all the way across the field. It didn't matter. He ran wherever he wanted. And the reason why he did that was because we weren't physical enough. You guys smacked these guys in the mouth. This defense needs to make their presence felt early and often. And so I want to see more physicality. Last week, it was almost like we were lifeless on defense. There was no motivation. You can tell Max Crosby was hurt. He wasn't pumped up like he usually was. I got to see some life. I want to see some life in this defense right from the start. Come in and dictate what you want them to do. This front seven, I want to see nothing but gang tackles. All right, when they run that ball, I want to see nothing but gang tackles. I want to see 3, 4, 5 defenders hitting that ball carrier every single time. Set the tone. Let them know we're here and let them know we're not going anywhere. All right. This is what I want to see. We need to make up for the lack of physicality that we had this week and set the tone early. All right. So, yes, we could talk about you need to cause turnovers and all that. Those are all basic stuff. But this is something you have to set the tone. I want to see some physical defense right out the box on Sunday, and don't let off. Don't let off. Continue to smack them in the mouth every chance you get. And so that's what I want to see out of the defense this Sunday. All right. And so let's jump to the offensive side of the ball. All right. So the offensive side of the ball, we've all heard from this point, right? Devonta Adams, he is out, right? So next man up. There, Mumford, he's not going to be playing. Okay. And also Michael Mayer, he is not going to play as well this weekend. And it's not an injury, it's for personal reasons. So I hope everything is good with him. This is where it hurts to not have Michael Mayer out on this field, because I think we do need to try to establish somewhat of a running game. All right. Now, does Zamir White need to rush for 150 yards? No. But one thing is we have to find an identity. But in order to do that, you do have to be able to threat one way or another. So, for example, if we want to pass the ball 40 times a game, that's fine. But you want to have a running back that's going to gain maybe 70, 75 yards. So that defense still has to honor the run. All right? The only way you're going to find success if you want to be pass heavy is that those linebackers still have to honor the run. If you cannot run whatsoever, good luck passing the ball. You could pass the ball 50 times a game, but if you can't run the ball, that it's going to be, you're not setting yourself up for long-term success throughout the season. Let's just put it that way. And so we have to try to establish some sort of a run game, even if we want to go pass heavy. And Michael Mayer helps us out with that. He is our best run blocking tight end. All right, Harrison Bryant is not very good at run blocking. All right, Brock Bowers, he needs to work on it as well. I went over the film. I looked at the film every single play the last few weeks over and over and over again, just to kind of see what can we do to help out this run game. And Michael Mayer, as it stands right now, is our best run blocking tight end. And missing him tomorrow, that just hurts us. It hurts us if we try to establish the run tomorrow. And so he's definitely going to be missed. I hope everything's good. Hopefully we see him back next week. Now, one thing that I expect out of this offense is we have to establish who our starting 5 offensive linemen are. Because obviously, as it stands right now, the starting offensive 5, Colton Miller, Cody Whitehair, Andre James, Dylan Parham, and Thayer Mumford. Obviously, DJ Glaze is going to come in. That hasn't worked. It hasn't worked at all. Okay, last week, horrible against the run. A little bit better against the pass when we played the Panthers. A little bit better against the pass. But we need to establish a starting 5. They need to start communicating. They need to start gelling as a unit. All right. And so one thing I want to see is this would be my ideal offensive line. If we have Colton Miller as the left tackle, JPJ, the left guard. I do not want to see Cody Whitehair in this football game at all. All right, I was already pissed off when we signed him, and I said the day that we signed him, I came on and made a video that if Cody Whitehair ends up being our starting guard, we are in trouble. Because I went back and watched the tape, and the day that we signed him, I dropped a video and said if he better just be a backup. I wanted us to pick up somebody else, but if he's just a backup, okay. But if he ends up having to start at any point in the season, we're going to be in trouble. And here we are. So I want JPJ to start on the left as the left guard. So him and Colton Miller can start. One, it's a veteran as well as a rookie next to each other. They can start helping each other. Andre James at center, Dylan Parham at the right guard, and then DJ Glaze at the right tackle. Now, last week, JPJ played all of his snaps at the right guard position. I do not want JPJ, DJ Glaze next to each other. I do not want two rookies playing next to each other. That would be a horrible decision. So if I see that, I'm going to be pissed right out the box. But I hope if I do see it and I'm wrong and they have success, great, I'll eat that one. But I just don't think that's ideal. And so again, Colton Miller on the left tackle, JPJ left guard, Andre James at center, Dylan Parham at right guard, DJ Glaze at right tackle. That would be my ideal lineup, and I hope I see it on Sunday. Now, look, in addition to just establishing our starters on the offensive line so they can start gelling, the other thing is that, look, I want us to establish the run. But at the same time, because our offensive line has struggled so much, I just need us to find success, whether it's through the run or through the pass. Luke Getsy has to understand, how do I set this offense up so where they have the best chance at success? And that's what I need Luke Getsy to do. Okay. Obviously, we're struggling with the run. But again, we need to establish something on the ground. And this is what is hard, guys. I've played this game for 15 years. I coached it for 23 years. And even for myself, I'm at a loss as to how we're going to fix this, given the fact that our offensive line has played so poorly. All right. And that's why my number one objective or expectation in this game is we have to solidify the starting five offensive line and start working from there. I don't see our offense getting much better until we fix this offensive line problem. All right. We can sit there and say, yeah, throw the ball 50 times a game. Okay, fine. Open up the pass. But if you can't block for the quarterback, if you can't protect the quarterback, what good is the pass? You're going to sit there and just trickle your way down a 5-yard pass here, a 10-yard pass here, a 3-yard pass here, because guess what? Your offensive line can't sustain their block long enough in order for us to hit a 50-yard pass downfield. All right. You have to make sure. And if you don't have the threat of the run, guess what? Those safeties are going to sit 15, 17 yards back. Those linebackers, instead of creeping up to 4 yards, are going to sit at 7 yards, which makes it even harder to pass at in that mid-range area. And so we have to establish the run. All right. And a lot of people on social media are going out and saying, yeah, we need to pass the ball. Forget the run. The run sucks. I got it. The run does suck. Okay. But if you just pass all day long, good luck having success. All right. The NFL defenses are way too good for you to just be truly just one-dimensional, unless you got a Tom Brady or even with Tom Brady needed a running game. Unless you have a Peyton Manning back there that can throw the ball 50 times a game and pick a defense apart. All right, we don't got that. Okay, so we need to at least attempt to try to establish a run game so we can keep this defense somewhat honest. All right, so again, it's hard for me to understand exactly how to attack a defense when your offensive line plays so poorly. But the one thing I do know is that, look, I'm not saying we got to rush for 150 yards. I'm saying I'd love to see our running backs, whether it's Zoot, Alexander Madsen, I'd love to see them at least try to get somewhere between 75 to 100 yards on the ground combined so that we can force a defense to play balanced. And so kind of leads me into my next point. I would like to see a little more Alexander Madsen. Not to say that he is our saving grace in the running game, but Zamir White has struggled 3 games in a row now. He's gotten enough carries. There's enough sample size to know what can he do and what can he do. And as it stands right now, he's not a zone style running back. He's just not. He doesn't have the vision for it. If Zamir White's in, I want us to see us more towards that maybe inside zone or maybe just a power run scheme. All right, but definitely lean more towards the power run scheme. If you want to stick with the zone, maybe Alexander Madsen is our better option, because right now Zamir White is struggling to find the holes. His vision just isn't there. And so I definitely want to see Alexander Madsen a little more in this rotation, because every time we get down the goal line, he's our goal line running back. So he's pounding the rock. He's getting it in there. You know what? Might as well use him in the middle of the field as well. Pound that rock, try to get ahead the sticks a little bit, get us in a 2nd and 5, 2nd and 4, where it's a little more manageable. You know, because as of right now, it's just not working out. Again, I'm not putting it all on the backs of the running. I'm not putting it on all on the shoulders of the running back, because our offensive line has their issues too. We've got to do our best to try to figure this run game out so we can have some success that will help open up the passing game. And now one matchup that I'm really going to be looking for is Colton Miller versus Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett, he's been limited all week long. He has basically every injury you can imagine on his lower half. I think he's got a foot injury, an ankle injury, I think it's a calf injury, or maybe even a thigh injury. I mean, he's got three different injuries on that injury report, and so all in the lower half. I think they said that he was going to have an MRI on Monday, and there was a chance he wasn't going to play. And so you're talking about Colton Miller going up against a banged up Myles Garrett. Okay. Now, banged up Myles Garrett is still better than probably 80% of the edge rushers in the NFL. But Colton Miller has to establish himself as this anchor on this offensive line, this leader. He's got to now lead by example. He's not the most vocal guy. All right. He's not the most animated guy out there. So you better lead by example. This offensive line that's going to have two rookies on it. JPJ and DJ Glaze. You got two rookies that are going to look up to you to figure out how do we get this thing going. And so you need to establish yourself as the leader on this offensive line and lead by example. So you better put Myles Garrett in the dirt a couple times. You better flat back his ass. You better put him in the ground. All right? Set the tone for this offensive line. We got to see some more leadership out of him because he is the veteran. Lead by example. I want to see you dominate Myles Garrett. I want to see you be the one to set the tone for this offensive line and make sure that we have success on Sunday. And so that's what I want to see out of Colton Miller. And now, lastly, let's talk about Luke Getsy. All right. Luke Getsy, the one thing that I would say about him, and I've already said my piece on the live that I had earlier in the week, as well as a video that I dropped this past week. But my biggest thing is maybe Luke Getsy needs to go up in the box. He's been coaching from the sideline. Maybe he needs to go up in the box, right? Be next to your coaches that are basically your eyes in the sky, but go up there. You know, seeing the offense, seeing the entire field in a different perspective sometimes helps you see certain things. All right, when you're on the sideline, it's hard to see on the opposite sideline. If there's action going on the opposite sideline, you know, sometimes the quarterback might throw a pass on your sideline and you see it, but you don't see that open receiver that's on the opposite side of the field. You know, you don't have a full perspective of what's going on in the entirety of the play. So maybe if you go upstairs, you'll see some adjustments. You'll see a play that Gardner Minshew or a read that Gardner Minshew maybe didn't see on that play. Well, guess what? Set it up and go back to it a couple series later. Okay. These are the things that you can see from up top, from the sky view. And so maybe Luke Getsy needs to go up into the box. And so that's something that I might want to see. That I want to see it on Sunday. I want to see Luke Getsy go up in the box on Sunday, give himself just a different perspective. Some coaches can do it from the sideline. You know, Kyle Shanahan does it from the sideline. Andy Reid does it from the sideline. All right. Some of these guys can do it, but others, sometimes you got to switch it up. Patrick Graham did it last year. Patrick Graham used to coach from the sideline. Okay. But then I believe it was week 3 or week 4 of last year, he went up into the box and all of a sudden things started to turn around for our defense. All right. It's just a different perspective. So that's definitely one thing I want to see out of Luke Getsy. And so that's kind of that's my breakdown of this week, guys. A lot of injuries, but at the end of the day, we can still beat up on this Browns team. They are just as injured as we are. It's time to take advantage of this opportunity and turn this season around. And so with that being said, let's get into the giveaway. I appreciate you sticking with me and through my ranting. And so let's get into this. And like I said before, I said I was going to pick one winner. I ended up picking 2 because, again, it's just my way of saying thank you and showing my appreciation. And so the winners for this giveaway is Big Joel 7991. You are one of my winners. And then Dennis Collado 7731. Both you guys, you're the winners of my giveaway. And so I'm going to reply to your comment on my previous video, and I'm going to give you the directions, but I'm going to tell you right now, I want you to email me at realraider805@gmail.com. And in the subject line, put giveaway winner. Put your YouTube name in that email so I know it's you. But in the subject line, put giveaway winner. Okay, so I know it's you. And then I'll email you back with the instructions to redeem your giveaway. And so I appreciate you guys. I appreciate every single one of you guys participating. I appreciate all my subscribers. And my next giveaway is at 4,000 subscribers. I'm less than 300 subscribers away from 4,000. And for that giveaway, because it's 4,000 subscribers, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick 4 winners for that giveaway. All right, 4,000 subscribers. I'm going to pick 4 winners. Again, just my way of saying thank you and showing my appreciation. So, guys, I appreciate you. I appreciate you sticking through me with this video. Congratulations to the winners. Make sure you email me at realraider805@gmail.com so I can send you over the instructions to redeem your giveaway. Thank you to everybody out there. I hope you enjoy the game. Make sure I will either go live on Sunday or I'll give you an instant reaction video. Either way, I'm definitely going to get out to you guys. Have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the game, and I'll see you guys on the next video. I'm out.